Oh, man.
Oh, whoopsie daisy.
I think we're good. We're good, man.
It's going. Oh, it looks so Christmassy now.
She's so fantastic. I got my lights on the tree.
Yeah. I can't tell what's shining in here so that something's like glowing over here. Like, can't tell what I got to turn off, but everything's off. I don't know.
I can't tell what I got to turn off.
It's some type of weird glow coming. It's like, what is that? Every time I look at.
Go fast.
Well, man, I ain't got a clue what's going on in the world because I ain't done jack squat.
Brother, I was saying earlier, I'll mention it again now for the people, the good people. I know a couple of days ago there was something I was like, yeah, when we do the show, that'll be awesome. We can talk about that. I don't remember for the life of me what that was. I have no clue, man. I can tell you this: I came up with a good nickname for Baron Corbin, and I feel bad. I feel bad because I don't mean to trip on him, but I will because he's not my guy. I'm like, how in the world has no one taken to calling him Baron Von Trashke yet? Baron Von Trashke, man, that's a great name.
his stable, the Baron Von Trashy.
God, yeah, seriously, man. Oh Lord. But yeah, as soon as I thought about that, because I had my one man show. And I don't know if people at home know this or not. Jared knows because he's had to listen to me talk about it before. But I'm writing a one man show called Iron Claw of Love, the Baron Von Raschke story. And I was thinking, man, Baron Von Trashke would be an awesome name for a wrestler. And then it's like, well, that's a better nickname for Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
I should be calling him. Oh, dude. Iron Claw of Love. It's pretty good. The ending is good. The ending is solid.
Come with me, Forgotten Sons. Follow me to freedom.
Follow me to freedom.
Man, I watched my first episode of TNA and probably since the Hogan days, to be honest with you, and dug the crap out of it. I liked the promo that Don Callis and Kenny did at the end of it, and then watched AEW and they kind of did the same promo.
Yeah, it's true. It's like you don't have to have seen one to have understood the other. Mm-hmm. What I noticed on Impact, and I know they're there, I just forgot they're there. Man, it was good to see Chris Sabin, man, and it's really good to see Alex Shelley because there was talk that he might have to hang it up for a little bit. And again, I knew they were back, but I just let myself forget it. So, like we talked about, man, people started doing immediately. People started doing Impact at AEW Dream matches, and I agree with them. And one of the ones I saw was Motor City Machine Guns and Private Party, and I'm like, yes, sir. Oh, yes. That would be freaking awesome, man. That'd be great. But Kenny Omega, Rich Swann, I don't mean to like overstate it or whatever, man. But hopefully the pay-per-view they put that on will be cheap because I'd love to see that, man. We thought Rich Swann was awesome. Rich is real good. So I'm like, oh man, that's crazy. And also they can do the Sami Callihan, John Moxley thing that people want to see, and that's awesome. I can have me a nice long toilet break during that, which I'm okay. I would prefer that, like we talked about with excuse me.
Might as well call this match beer run because that's what I'm about to do.
When Moxley and or when John Moxley went to New Japan, and there was a lot of talk like, oh man, it's got to be him and Suzuki. Oh my God, John Moxley, Minoru Suzuki, you got to do it. That'd be awesome. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I hope you do because I'm a lot better off with two people on the card that are very, very popular that aren't necessarily my thing. Great, let them work together because that means they're not messing anybody else up. And I don't mean to diss Suzuki. It's just Minoru Suzuki's cool, and I get why people like him so much. But again, it's just that pro wrestling is way more fun when it's back and forth. It's like watching football. If you watch football without emotion, and what I mean is like, if you've got a team that you've pulled for your whole life, it's not. That's why I like pro football because I've never had that. I just recently got into it, so I can watch it for entertainment. And man, back and forth. If you have a game where no one ever gets a lead over 10 points, that's awesome. That's way more exciting than I don't like the big comeback. I don't like watching people get beat 50-0.
Mm-hmm.
It's way cooler that way. Wrestling is the same way. So when you have someone that just never ever lets the other guy look good, it's like I don't like that. And that's Suzuki. He's just like walk through fire and kill everybody and toughest guy in the world and craziest guy in the world. It's cool. He's cool. That guy's very cool, but it's just not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it when they put people I'm not wild about together. I will say that I diss Moxley's. I don't want to say diss because it's not that Moxley can't cut a promo. I just don't think he's quite as good as people tell me he is. Doesn't make him bad. I just don't think he's revolutionary. You see Sammy Callahan cut a promo, it's like, yeah, Moxley's great compared to that guy.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I got sidetracked. But I liked all that. I thought it was cool. I was very happy that they did the YouTube thing on that episode. Like, guys, this is great, man. Thanks, because it was very cool and I liked it.
As I talk about guys and not being able to talk very well, is I think it's going to do well, and I hope they stick to let Don Callis do a lot of the promo. I don't think Kenny is terrible, but hey, let somebody else carry that weight.
If they want him to be what they want him, if they want him to be what they're presenting him as, yeah, Kenny can't cut tough guy promos. Kenny Omega's promos are amazing. It's just that he's not little Mr. Badass tough guy, and that's what they want him to be. So yeah, let somebody else do that because he can't. He doesn't have that voice to get that across, and it's just like, nah. Kenny's promos are more fun when, I don't want to say playful, because when you say playful, people think that means comedy. But I mean playful as in being a white kid from Canada going into Japan and cutting a promo in perfect Japanese. They loved that. That was super cool because apparently no one knew until he starts cutting the promo. And again, he didn't stumble, he didn't stutter. It's like he really knows it. And that's cool. But that doesn't always work. And it certainly wouldn't work. That attitude wouldn't work for what they're trying to do now. So absolutely, man, stick with it. This is cool.
Yeah. I liked the recent Moxley promos I've seen. I liked his little Going Banana tribute. That was cool.
That was very, very cool.
Yeah. So there's some good stuff. And what I haven't seen much of the promos recently, but he was always when in the Shield days. That's what always was left with him. It's like, well, of these three, I think he's the best talker. And then now that he's been in AEW, I think he's kind of forgetting how to do some of that. But his promo, that's all last is all right. He's getting back into the groove of things.
Yeah, my whole thing with Moxley's promos is I'm hoping that it will be a bridge to establishing it as just the way everybody does their promos. Because the whole, let's walk out to the ring and cut a promo in front of the audience for 15 minutes, I hate that. Raw has made that standard. I hate that. Taped interviews are way better. And you say that, and people are like, nah, man, you're going to be able to kick it live or it doesn't count. Okay, so are you dissing Cactus Jack? Because everybody will tell you, Kane Dewey's the greatest promo ever. Yeah, that was on tape, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sure was. Yeah, but it's one take. It's a third take. And it's great to do it in one shot, and it's awesome if you can. But telling everybody they have to is a mistake. And that's cool. And that's my deal, is all of Moxley's promos are pre-taped, which is really cool. And I think they all should be, but people get killed for it except him. And I'm like, no. Because that's the other thing. And the recent thing with him, especially in my opinion, is that you have him and, I just got his freaking name just shut right up. What's wrong with me? God almighty. The other one that Sarah Shockey loves. What the hell? I can't believe I forgot his damn name. I got Eddie Edwards stuck in my head, and I'm like, dadgummit, that's not it.
It's somebody on AEW?
Yeah, it's the dude they just signed from the NWA, the New York guy that he just beat up.
Kingston.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Kingston. Yeah. You don't want those guys cutting promos in the same. You don't, because, again, Mox, okay, Eddie Kingston is real good. He's real good. And so it's like, all right, man, so that's much better. When they had the last face-to-face, what did they do? Moxley walked in and just stared at him, and Eddie talked, and it's like, this works. It was excellent. worked. And I'm looking forward to them being a tag team. Can't believe I forgot the Eddie Kingston. I just got it when Eddie Edwards popped in my head. It would not move on. And I'm like, oh crap, man. So thank you. I knew that wasn't gonna come back.
That's cool. That's what's up, man. The other cool thing, I saw a bunch of stuff drop from this is total shift gears, but it popped in my head for some reason with the Disney investor call, which pretty much turned into like a D23 light of like trailers getting dropped, and I'm to the point now. I was like, I don't want to see your trailer. I already know whether I want to see it, if I want to see it or I don't. But there was an extra WandaVision trailer that came out that showed how crazy the world's going to be, and it finally has a release date of January 15th. Hopefully they'll stick to it.
Yeah.
And then they had, and they showed more of the what the Loki show is going to be, which got me interested in that. So maybe with that one, I did need to kind of see a little bit of a trailer, but all I needed to see was him and Owen Wilson going down the elevator, and they explained everybody had kind of surmised that the Loki show is going to be built on the scene from Endgame when the Time Stone slides over to him and poof, he's gone. Well, that's the premise of the show, but he's still a prisoner. He's a prisoner of these Time Lord organization that Owen Wilson works for. And just the idea of that show, I'm already like, oh, gotta see that.
Yeah, I can dig it, man.
And he'll find a way to get away from him
because he's Loki. That's what Loki does.
That'll be that show. And then they had announced this show, What If, at one of the D23s. This feels like years ago, but I'm excited for that. At first, I was kind of bummed because it's going to be animated. It's going to be animated and voiced by all the actors from the Marvel universe, from what I've seen so far. And I think with this type of stories they're wanting to do with it, I think they kind of realize like, getting these actors back to film some of this stuff is going to be real expensive. So, look, we can't do that. We're not going to do that. But the episodes that I saw in the trailer that got me kind of interested is the first What If. Well, I don't know if it'll be the first episode, but the first one I was like, hey, is that what I think it is? And it's going to be what if Peggy Carter got super serum before Steve Rogers or instead of Steve Rogers. So I was like, I'm down for that.
Yeah, man.
I think another what if show is going to be involved with the Marvel Zombies episode. Like, okay, they're going to do that regardless. So then the other what if episode, I was like, hey, that's it. It's a stretch, but I'm kind of down for it. It's what if Xandu showed up in Wakanda and T'Challa is Star-Lord. So just the idea of that and seeing it in the trailer, I was like, damn, that's a neat idea.
Yeah, I can get, man, look, anything that gets Xandu back in, I'm cool because he's one of my favorites. And I was just thinking, it's interesting you talk about the Loki show, and I'm wondering, and this is just me trying to like make it work, and I have an idea of where I want all this to go. And I was talking with my buds the other day I read something about how Brie Larson set to be replaced as Captain Marvel. Could be. That might be 100% true. It could be exactly what you hear.
I've heard those rumors. I just don't get it. I don't understand it.
I just think they're going to get rid of the character, man. Yeah. If I'm Wanda Maximoff and I am recreating the universe as I know it so that my old man Magneto can take over, because that really is where I hope they're going, there's not going to be some god-level intergalactic space force. Yeah. There also isn't going to be a God of Thunder, and I'm like, all that stuff for me, all that stuff would be gone. So if you have Loki stuck over here in time prison, can't get to him. It's like
Yeah.
so maybe that lets him come back, and I'm like, ooh, that'd be cool because you could totally do
Cool.
that. But
Cool.
I don't know if it's what they're going to do. But I was very excited when I saw January 15th. I'll be honest, when I saw January 15th, I assumed it was a bunch of old print stuff. And I'm like, well,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I have to wait to see what's actually coming out because every time I bring it up, it's like, well, it got delayed. You know, it's delayed. It's not coming out. It's been delayed. And I'm thinking 6 months, a year, 2 years. It just seemed like it was much, much further away than January 15th. And I'm like, oh, okay, that is the bump back date. Oh, cool. All right, let's go. So I'm looking very
Yeah.
forward to that because I'm sure we've explained it on here before, but it's every time is somebody's first time.
Mm-hmm.
I am hoping that all of the announcements for whatever phase, whatever they're calling it now, are all lies. Because is there anything that anybody really wants to see? I mean, it's a lot of stuff that's kind of odd and kind of weird. I think that
Mm-hmm.
Disney has concocted the whole thing as a hoodwink. I really do.
Yeah.
I think WandaVision is going to lead to Wanda realizing what she actually is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be really interesting. I think that's going
Yeah.
to be real, real cool. And I'm hoping that I would love it if we can get back to, because God knows we have to name check Tony Stark and everything, but you could do it in this story very, very well, very well. And one of the things I'm hoping they will do, excuse me, is that we'll get back to basically Doctor Strange when he explains to Tony Stark that, yeah, this is the one and only way that we can possibly make this work. What fantastic gravity if from having seen it, he knows that Wanda's going to find out what she is, but you got to do it anyway. I'm like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
that would just be
Yeah.
fantastic. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of good stuff that I'm hoping we'll get.
Yeah, man.
But there's tons of cool stuff. If you do, I don't want to say do Avengers Disassembled because that's not what I want them to do, but just the notion that it's Wanda that's the key to unlocking everything that is Avengers and breaking it up. Boy, that was cool, man. And that book is very good. It's too quick, and everyone knows it's too quick, but that's not their fault either. Because for what they were trying to do, they were trying to get to the X-Men where Spider-Man and Wolverine could be in it. So
Mm-hmm.
you only have like, okay, you got this long to get it done. So for the amount of time they had and what they were trying to do, they really did nice. It's just, I guess basically what you're telling me is this: if you told me they were going to revisit that storyline but give it a year instead of 6 months, oh, I'd be excited as crap, man. So I
Yeah.
guess that's the best way to say it. What they did was totally good, but I love the idea of more. I'm good with
Yeah.
it, man.
Heck yeah, man.
But my other thing, I was talking to my buddy Aaron about this, man. I am hoping to merge the universes because I know, oh my God, Hugh Jackman has to be Wolverine. It's much more important to me to keep McAvoy and Fassbender
Yeah.
as Charles and Eric if we can, because
Mm-hmm.
I love those guys. And also, he's not really my guy, but I know he's the guy in that series. How cool would it be to have the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver back, where everyone gets the version of Quicksilver they all loved? That'd be neat.
Mm-hmm.
You could totally do that because it's like, all right, let's go, man.
Yeah. Find a way to make that go down and be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be. I'm with you. I think it'd be totally awesome. I'm just super excited. It's weird too because it's been a minute because I really enjoyed Endgame. I was cool with it, so it hasn't been like watching the clock and waiting to see. Oh man, when's the Marvel stuff coming out? When are we gonna get more? Because I'm I'm good. If it's done, I'm good. But oh, if we're gonna go and bring in the X-Men and let's go, it's cool, man.
That that was the other thing that was officially announced is they did say that there will be Fantastic Four, but they would never come out and totally. Everybody knows the X Men are coming, but they just want to. I just want to save that announcement for when we get a cool poster.
Yeah, yeah. If you are looking to Shanghai everything you've announced, keep that one. I think that, like you said, more to the point, it makes me think even more it's what they're going to do because why else
Mm-hmm.
would you not mention it? Because it's
Yeah,
cooler if you don't.
yeah,
Fantastic Four. The one thing is, like I said, I hope that they will go. I hope they won't do Doctor Doom first.
mm-hmm.
I think doing the Fantastic Four and then doing Doctor Doom in his own movie and then bringing them together, I think that would work a lot better. And I
Mm-hmm.
haven't heard anything else about it. It's been a while, but if I guess the way to say it is to just be blunt. If John Krasinski has to play Reed Richards, because God knows there's lots of people that want it that way.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, I really enjoyed Away We Go. So it's not impossible for me to enjoy stuff he's in. It's totally cool. But if Krasinski as Reed Richards gets me Emily Blunt as Susan Storm, I'll take it any day of the week, no problem. Because I guess one of the reasons is because I like her so much, but also if you are going to cast Emily Blunt as Susan Storm, you get it. All the best Fantastic Four stories in the world are super Sue-centric. And that's awesome. If you're casting her to play it, it just seems to me that you take it seriously and you're beefing up the character, and it's like, that is very cool. So I'm looking very forward to anything Fantastic Four, especially, hey man, if Disney decides to do Fantastic Four, that means that Lego will do the Baxter Building. That's what I've been waiting on. So I'm very excited, man. Lego Baxter Building, I'm good.
It'll happen.
Dude, seriously, man.
Yep. I guess the other announcement that they had, that when I first heard it, I was kind of like, say what? Was I heard the announcement that Chris Evans is going to play Buzz Lightyear.
Sweet.
And I was like, well, Tim Allen, first of all, is still alive. Second of all, I thought that they had enough recorded dialogue for him and Tom Hanks to be Woody and Buzz forever.
Forever.
and indefinitely. But so I was like, what is this going to be? And it's a movie that when I heard that what they were doing, I was like, that's not for me, but cool. The Chris Evans Buzz Lightyear movie is going to be him playing the character that Buzz Lightyear, the toy, is based on.
Oh, okay.
Kind of funky, kind of a stretch, but I was like, cool. I was done with Toy Story after number 3.
Oh, sure.
I'll admit that to anybody. I've been very upfront. I thought that Toy Story 3 ended so well when Toy Story 4 was announced and came out. I was like, not for me.
Yeah.
You don't need to see it. And hearing this.
That was me with Stranger Things season 2. I liked the first season. I'm like, that was great.
Yeah. And that's been my review for everybody for Stranger Things. Part 2 and probably part 3 a little bit. If you like 80s sequels, then Stranger Things season 2 is you, because it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Again.
That was my thing. I thought the first one was so good. It was like, no, I'm good. It's why I guess let me rephrase that so make sure I say it correctly. It's the reason I've never seen season 2 or 3 or however many they're up to now, because I love the first one. I'm like, that was cool, man. So I'm good, and I'm good.
Even down to the timing of the climax of season 1 and the climax of season 2, it's the same show. Even down to the time, the way things happen, the times that happen, the people that get killed off, or who you believe to get kind of done away with. It's kind of it's the same show.
Yeah, dude, I can dig it, man. It's I don't know, man. I guess again, I you know me, I keep thinking, I bring it up all the time, and it's stupid. But I'm guessing the industry learned their damn lesson with Last Jedi. Jesus Christ, don't rock the boat. People get really mad.
Yeah.
And honestly, they're not wrong, because I've said it before. I will probably say it forever. I've only seen, I don't remember what the last one was, Rise of Skywalker, I guess is what it was called. I've seen it once. One time, and it's not because it wasn't good. It was very good. It's just that, unfortunately, all the things that were good about that, if you had given 2 movies worth of time to that, you'd have been set. So if you hadn't had to have the whole experimentation with something different for the second one, you'd have had plenty enough time to flesh those out, and they would have been even better, than they were. And that sucks. I love Last Jedi because I love the idea of, let's do something different. And then you got scalded, and they were like, "Oh, people don't want that." So okay, well let's go back and let's make 2 movies that they wanted, but do it in one. It's a very good movie, but if you were going to do that anyway, it would have been a lot cooler if you just done it over 2 and 3. Give the people what they want.
Yeah. And that was the other thing that did get announced, that it's more kind of, that fine, not for me, but they did. There was a cool looking trailer. I guess it's going to be a show that's going to be called Rogue Squadron. That I was like, okay, I might be there for that. But the other spin-off Star Wars show that they said was going to happen was going to be the Cassius Andor or whatever the guy's name was from Rogue One.
Yeah.
The character that I was like, well, I was the least interested in is going to have his own spin-off show. It's like, fine. Of people that are into that character, and it's like, I don't need a prequel to the prequel that you've already done.
Yeah, seriously. Rogue Squadron's cool. I'm glad they're doing that, because that was my thing with Rogue One, as I was hoping that's what it would be. So that's very cool. But yeah, I'm with you. Anything, okay, that's cool. And if there's enough folks that are into it, that's cool, man. It'll be all right.
Yeah, it's as much as I still like Rogue One. It gets played a lot on TV, and I've seen it a few times now. But I thought that was one of the neatest things about that, is it just being a one-off. Because even sitting there in the theater watching it, it kind of dawns on you as they're building to the climax. Oh, these guys ain't going to make it. This is the story that we were told about in A New Hope, the people that didn't survive. And there was just, I guess, just his connection to K2SO makes where you kind of need to do the spinoff show with him. But is it K2SO, K2S1, something like that? And as much as I like that character, I was like, I like it being a one-off. I like it being its own thing. So I say that now, knowing that when it comes out, I'll be like, oh man, you got to see it. Oh man.
So freaking good. You can't believe it.
I love that show. That's pretty much all the stuff I can remember off the top of my head that was like from, and they called it the Disney investor call, which I was like, I thought an investor call was people getting the bottom line of what's going on, but all this trailer stuff got dropped. So, well, whatever they want to call it, but we can't have a D23 this year, so we're doing it on the investor call.
So we're doing this.
Okay.
It's gonna be fantastic, guys.
You're gonna like it. Give us your money.
Give us your money.
Give me my money.
Give me back my $18. I wish I could do an impersonation of Mel Gibson half as good as we were talking earlier. Man, it has been a 72-hour period of 72-hour period of amazement for me with the abilities of our favorite SNL cast member.
Awesome.
We are both Melissa Villaseñor fanatics. I think she's great because she's great. This is the stuff that I didn't know. We talked about how Dolly Parton showed up on Saturday Night Live, which it's very impressive to me that anybody can do an impression of Dolly. That's awesome. But that it's the same person that I've heard do Lady Gaga shockingly well. I'm like, I can't believe that's the same person. That's really, really good, man. Being able to sing that well is very cool, but to be able to sing that well as two totally different people, crazy. I was telling Jared earlier, I'm sorry to do it again. We'll tell y'all real quick. Man, I found the YouTube honeycomb, and I couldn't believe it. She has an appearance on the Jimmy Fallon show where they're doing I can't remember what they call it, but basically it's like the musical impression roulette.
Draw names out of a hat.
Yeah, it like they put the computer program in of like, okay, these are all the people that Melissa can do, and these are all the people Jimmy can do, and then it's randomly it spits out the name and what song they want you to sing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all good because it's like mostly just standard stuff like Christmas jingles and stuff like that. So you can totally it's all good. So, excuse me, I was telling the man I watched her do that, and the first person she gets is Gwen Stefani, and it doesn't take long. She doesn't even start singing before it's impressive. And I don't know if I've made it clear on the show or not, so I'll be clear now. I am not a Jimmy Fallon guy. He's not my guy. But musical impressions, his musical impressions shock me with just the quality.
Some good stuff out there.
Absolutely, and there's some hilarity to it as well. But I've told Jared that he's heard it many times. I'm sorry to do it again. Neil Young and Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
They are so impressive. It's like almost not even funny. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I don't like Fallon, but I want to give him credit for that because he's great at it. I want to give him credit for this other thing because it was neat how genuinely impressed he seemed to be. Because the first name that comes up is Gwen Stefani. So Melissa's getting in character and grabs the mic and does this weird little like face thing. It's when you watch it on video, it's weird. It's like watching somebody shapeshift. And the audience reacts, and Fallon reacted. I mean, even he's a great impressionist, but he sees it, and it's like, oh my God, it's very impressive. So her Gwen Stefani is excellent. Beyond, oh my God, how in the world is anybody this good? She then does Christina Aguilera, which I think, from a talent standpoint, obviously it's hard to do. Christina's got a really good voice, but also it's kind of a Joe Biden good voice. We talked about it with Jim Carrey. Like, there's not a ton to work with there, so that Carrey can do him so well is really a testament to how good he is.
Come on, man.
Dude, seriously. And it's like Melissa doing Christina's kind of the same thing. It's unreal. So we've got Lady Gaga, who was that impression was unbelievable. Dolly, fantastic. Gwen Stefani, which really is quite good, and again unique. None of these people sound alike, so it's cool that she can sound like all of them.
Yeah.
See, then does Christina, the third one. Excuse me, the third one. There is no way this was random. They had to know she could do this, and they had to decide to put it on the show. She does an impression of Bjork.
Yeah.
Which I can't believe that Bjork can sing like Bjork. It is shocking. Absolutely. I mean, Fallon is right there next to her. This guy's as good as anybody I've ever seen doing musical impressions. I've never seen anything as impressive as Melissa Villaseñor doing Bjork because I just don't think it should be possible for anyone to do it. So we love Melissa anyway, but this past week has just pile-driven me with how crazy, shockingly talented she is.
Oh, yeah.
Then I kept stumbling on YouTube stuff of hers, and it was her appearance on America's Got Talent. Which apparently that was, I don't know if that's how she got the job on SNL, but she was working retail when she was on there.
Okay.
And so she comes out and they were like, okay, so what job do you want to have? And she's like, I want to be in comedy, I want to do impressions. And it's like, okay, cool. And that really is her voice. The way she talks is how she talks, not just the sound of her voice, but the cadence. That's just her. Yeah. So she comes out and the first thing she does is Barbara Walters, which is cool. Nice classic Barbara Wawa. It's cool. It works very, very well. She then decides to do an interview with Barbara Walters and Natalie Portman. Now, Natalie Portman is like the Joe Biden of girls. There's nothing there until Melissa Villaseñor starts doing it. It is absolutely insane. I couldn't believe it. I'll send you all this stuff. I can't believe I haven't already.
That's cool.
But Melissa Villaseñor doing impressions of anybody, it's just incredible.
There was I can't remember. It was on the Tonight Show, or it might have been on Conan, considering it was Rachel Dratch doing it. She was out getting interviewed by Conan years and years ago, and she breaks into her Callista Flockhart. I can't even do it, but it's like transforming kind of stuff.
Seriously, just that little stuff. It's very, very strange. People that can actually do impressions, man, it's just the little things. Bill Hader's super famous. Like, you can just watch him do it. It's like, oh my God, man. Yeah. But Melissa's like that. Seriously, the Gwen Stefani thing before she even starts singing is an example. And honest to God, like whenever she just switches from Barbara Walters to Natalie Portman, it's like, I can't believe it's possible. It's really, really fantastic.
I'm pretty sure it's been on Melissa does a podcast. And I know she's at least done a little bit of Don't Speak. on that podcast. It's just hearing that. I was like, oh my God,
dude.
Was that her?
Seriously, that's a tape. There's no way.
Yeah. And to hear somebody say they're going to attempt to do an impersonation of Bjork, the only thing I would know to do is the Oh So Quiet video, because that's. But I wouldn't know anything else to go with.
Man, it's hard to explain, because it's hard to explain Bjork's vocal style, but it's like it's impossibly impressive. It's so good, man. And again, if I'm putting it in the same breath as Jimmy Fallon's Neil Young, it's good, because Jimmy Fallon's Neil Young is like, oh my God, I can't believe that's not Neil Young.
Reading Rainbow.
Oh, Reading Rainbow, especially because I like the Doors. I listen to the Doors a lot. It is not human how good that is. Like I said, I forget to laugh, because it's like, oh my God, it's so good, man.
I mean, he freaking did Springsteen singing the Sexy and I Know It song. For no apparent reason, every once in a while I'll be going to the house going, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Man, the one that I saw was Bruce doing that with Neil Young. He came out, Jimmy Fallon was doing Neil Young, and Bruce sang it with him. But I can't remember what part is so great. It's just, Neil's great. It's just unbelievable. I need to go watch that now. It's been a while since I looked at it, but it really is like, holy crap, that's impressive. So basically everything I like about Fallon is music related, because his reaction to Gwen Stefani really was cool. His Mick Jagger impression in Almost Famous is wonderful. One of my favorite things I've ever seen anybody do. Speaking of which, man, did you see the thing from Saturday Night Live when Mick was the host, and they go to the karaoke bar and everybody keeps doing Rolling Stones covers, and it's awful, and the girls in the group are all like, oh my God, he is Mick Jagger, he looks just like Mick Jagger. And it's like, I don't think he sounds or looks that much like Mick Jagger. It's really stupid. But then they get to the thing, it's like, come on, look at him, that guy's got the moves like Jagger. Oh yeah, moves like Jagger, that's my favorite Rolling Stones song. I don't think that was the Rolling Stones. It's really stupid, except you get to the end of it and he starts doing his own Rolling Stones cover, and it's god awful. It's hilarious. It can only be his impersonation of Mick Jagger. You could only do it that. But it's like watching people that are unbelievable actors acting like they don't know how to act. It's like Catherine O'Hara in Waiting for Guffman. Only somebody as good as her could know how to nail somebody as bad as that. Oh God, it's so funny, man, because you know how good she is. So it's like, I love it, man.
Where's that?
That's the first thing I think of too, man. Where's that? One of my favorite things in that whole movie. Where's that? My other line, this has nothing to do with like the acting, but her line in that movie that I love is, Scorky, we love you, we want you to live. Like, what does that have to do with anything? We want you to live. Need to watch that again too. It's been a while.
Oh man, that's some hella good stuff in that one.
Dude, it's impossible, and it really is. It's quite fun to do that one and Mighty Wind close together. Especially if what you're watching for is, you watch Waiting for Guffman and her and I mean, they're all so good, but you watch Waiting for Guffman and her and Eugene Levy are wonderful, and then you see their storyline in Mighty Wind, and it's like, this is so good. God, these are talented people, man.
Oh yeah, man. There's a song. It's on. If it's in the movie Mighty Wind, it's in the background and not featured the way, because that's wasn't a place for it, because it's too freaking good. But it's a song that he does with her that's "Stay With Me, Bobby." It's a story of the Civil War, that love story.
Yeah.
So, that it's like, man, it's on the soundtrack, and you're like, oh my, I can't believe this is on here. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. There's the thing, while we're discussing the songs they did, this is obviously the song they do in the movie 15 times. but I think it's a good I hope anyway. It's a good example of how over just those that are crushed again. They are crushingly talented people.
Mhm.
And so it's the song, "The Kiss the End of the Rainbow." Everyone hears it. It's in the movie 10,000 times. But there is something in that version they do at the end, especially her verse.
Mhm.
She sings it different. And it's
Yeah.
like you've gone through the story and you see where they're at, and it's just the I don't know how to say it, man. Basically, it's the hurt she puts into her like singing of that verse. It's
Mhm.
so good. I just can't
Mhm.
believe because we've heard by that time you've heard that song like 4 or 5 times. But
Mhm.
when they get to that version, it's like you can't wait to hear it. Oh God, it's
Mhm.
man, it's hard to say because those movies are so good. But Mighty Wind is definitely the one I've seen the most times.
Mhm.
Holy crap, that's a good movie, man. I love it.
Heck yeah.
On the subject of songs, that's something I can tell you guys about.
Mhm.
I was on Instagram. I think I told you guys I restarted my Insta.
Yeah, yeah.
And I figured it out now. I finally have the good balance on Instagram.
Mhm.
Put Instagram with the phone, load up pictures from Fire Pro. Excuse me, as long as I've got some that I want, because I usually do them 3 at a time, so that way it stays even.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Dadgum, sorry y'all. And so I got caught up. I think I've got 12 or something up there now. And then what you do is you take that crap out of your phone and then re-up whenever you want to put more pictures up. Cool, man. Get back on there, reinstall it, no problem. But that way it keeps me from wasting so much because I hate it. And it's like, man, you're back doing this again. So I figured out finally how to do it.
Heck yeah.
But before I left, I came across this post. It was just one of those things where somebody had taken this little picture and put lyrics over the top of it. And the lyrics said, oh, how does it go? I'm not afraid to disappear. The billboard said the end is near. And I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And then in the description, they explain what song it is. So I'm like, I got to check that out. And it turns out that, do you remember the Apple commercial from back in the day with all the different people like tuning up their instruments and getting ready to play? And then like everybody in all the different locations starts playing the song. And there's this
Mhm.
blonde girl and her rock and roll band who jumps up to the microphone and starts singing Gigantic by the Pixies.
Mhm.
It turns out it's that girl.
Cool.
That's who it is. And I'm like, fascinating. But her name is Phoebe Bridgers, Bridgers, Phoebe Bridgers, and she has a song called "I Know the End." And I'm here to tell you, that is all I've listened to for a week. It is fantastic, and that's what that lyric is from. As a matter of fact, I will not finish the lyric because I'm so thankful to whoever made that little graphic on Instagram for not putting the whole lyric because that's the first half of it. But what comes right after it? Oh man, I really it's a very nice thing that they left that for you to go listen to the song.
Cool.
Fantastic. It's awesome. I love that song. Can't stop listening to it. It's great.
Yeah. I like that stuff, whether it's intentional or not. It's kind of like
Oh
a
man.
little, that's a little Easter egg.
Yeah, dude. Serious. Yeah, it was just this totally random thing, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And so, oh, it's a song. Well, I'll be checking that. I love that. I'm
Mhm.
totally with you. I love stuff like that where it kind of goes back to what you were talking earlier. When there's a lot of stuff that you want to see, but then every
Mhm.
once in a while, man, you'll come across Loki, and it's like, oh, okay, now I got to check that out. And that's neat when stuff
Mhm.
just kind of happenstance gets thrown towards you, man. I love that. I love finding stuff that way. It's
Heck
cool.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
That's it. It's, this phone's about to die.
We done
So,
killed it, man. Have a good
one
one,
more
y'all. Thank you
time.
for watching.
You too. I'll see y'all.
Yeah, brother.